can't tell anybody about this. Okay, trust me. It's gonna be okay. It's just you.
Can't imagine what kind of pain you're in right now. But nothing compares to the pain that I can inflict on you if you don't tell me what the fuck I want to hear.
My name is Kenneth Castillo. I'm directing the third installment in the Drive-By Chronicles, Nicky and Jackie, here in Ensenada, Mexico. And the story basically is about, it's a love story. It's a love story between three different couples. And Nicky and Jackie are the center, and all the stories kind of are interwoven with into their relationship. And that's basically what it is. It's very this is probably the most emotional movie that I've ever made, and the most emotional characters that I've ever created. But I have to say, with the entire Drive-By Chronicles series, I'm taking it mostly all from personal experience. I grew up in the harbor area in Wilmington, California, which is a port of Los Angeles. And I, as a child, wasn't a part of things, but witnessed some things that children shouldn't witness. And as a result, those things find themselves into my movies. In terms of Ensenada and shooting in Ensenada, Ensenada is very similar to the city that I grew up in. And I like the freedom that I'm able to shoot here. My budgets are small, and so I don't have a lot of money. And LA is not a film-friendly town, particularly for Latinos and particularly for Latino filmmakers.
We're good at doing production, low-budget movies. You know, we're good. We know where to save. We know what to do to keep the budget tight. So that's what they liked in us. That's what they said. You know, hey, Oscar, why don't you come in and work with us? You know, and try and make this movie. You know, we realize we have a tight budget, but I know you can work with that. And the first one we did is Ghost Town, Drive-By Chronicles 2. And in fact, you know, we did come under budget on a low-budget movie. So that's why they were very happy with it. And, you know, besides being friends and all, they decided, you know, we should try this again and do it with Nicky and Jackie.
Our production was basically 13 days. It was 12 days in Ensenada and about half a day back in LA. So it's just a matter of organizing each day of what we can get done with the amount of time, limit, and the expendables and everything else that we have available to us. Ensenada is awesome to shoot in. I mean, compared to being in LA, it's so much easier to get stuff done here as far as getting the resources and then having the people at that location be nice to us. I mean, getting the whole entire police department to help us out and block streets and not give us a hard time is a huge advantage compared to LA, where it's just a matter of paying them to get it done, and here it's just we really have their support, and that helps. That gives us a long ways to work. It helps us out tremendously, especially with the time we have.
We had shot here before Ghost Town in May of last year, and I was already working on the script. So I was already kind of giving a feel and telling my production manager, Barbarella, that you know, what I was going to be looking for. And so she came through big time on all our locations. I mean, 90% of our locations. I mean, I have to give a lot of credit to her because she was able to not only make the locations happen, but also sometimes there are problems. Even when you get the location, there are problems. And we had no problems with locations. So that's how that goes. And she'll send me pictures. What do you think of this? What do you think of that? And she did a wonderful job with that, with us. We had a lot of freedom in shooting that.
We're here because Plus Entertainment invited, you know, Oscar with Baja Films to come and produce this film. And well, we have been working together, and we're trying to keep on working in more projects with them and make you know, good things together. Here in Ensenada, the locations we used were beautiful things, houses of friends, and this restaurant. It's called Luba.
It was an amazing, beautiful location, and the way Mike Teston, our DP, lit it made it look like a phenomenal stage for the actors to work in. The way the wine barrels lit up were just absolutely amazing. I mean, just the smell of the oak barrels in there, it was a beautiful, beautiful experience in that location. I mean, I definitely would want to come back and shoot at that location again.
Nicky and Jackie also came in under budget. You know, this was had a little tighter budget than the other, but we still managed it. And we managed it, you know, because we're basically very independent. You know, we have our own equipment, we have our own crew, which is you know, the same crew we always work with. We have Jorge Roman as a first AD. Most of the time we use him as a DP, but this time, since we have Mike Teston on it, we decided to have Roman as a first AD. We also have Tony Gonzaga as a grip. And basically, you know, I can just go down the line, Hector Lemus, you know, a lot of Mexican crew, both from Tijuana, the department heads, and then we have, you know, all the supporting crew down here from Ensenada, which Ensenada isn't really a film town. It's not really like somewhere you're gonna go like LA, you know, go pick up a couple of grips. It's more like you get students, you get people who really want to work in this, you get people who are excited to do this. And that's what really helps, you know. You know, it's all that excitement that it brings up, and you know, everybody's excited because of them. So they help you out a lot. So that's good of filming in Mexico, you know. Especially, you know, it's low budget. You know, you don't. It's not as expensive as other places, but you get people with a lot of enthusiasm because they've always wanted to do this, and we're neighboring LA, you know, which LA Hollywood is a capital of the film industry, you know, so everybody kind of has a dream, everybody wants to do it, so it's easier to get people and, you know, round them up, and everybody's just great, you know. This movie isn't because Gonzalo or Kenny or myself or Barbie did it, it's because they did it, you know. Without them, we really wouldn't do anything, because they're the ones who work the long hours. They're the ones who carry, you know, 4Ks, 5Ks, or whatever.
I always said it wouldn't be, every director that you meet will always say at the end of their shoot that I had the best cast and best crew. And I never want to be that director that says that. But I really do have the best cast and best crew for this film. It's the grandest experience I've been a part of as a filmmaker. Yesterday was one of the hardest days I've ever done filming. And it was also one of the most extraordinary. And I'm just incredibly grateful to have that opportunity and to hopefully be here, you know, maybe in July and shoot another one.
So basically that's what it is, no? It's not the producers or whoever is running the show. It's the people who do everything. That's how you get a good movie, you know, that you have to have the best in everything to have a great movie, and I honestly think we have, if not the best, pretty much, you know, up there with the best on every part.
It's a fantastic crew, man. I mean, to do a film in 12 days the way we've done it, and to work at the speed, you know, films, high budget Hollywood films, they go on location for 3 months at a time, sometimes 6, you know. So to come here and do a film like this, and well, how many people? There's about 25 people in the crew, and everybody's doing double duty in different jobs. So, you know, in the States we have the saying that it's not it's Mexican, not Mexicant. So these are a bunch of people who really want to work and put something forward, and they do it with a lot of love, and they're beautiful people, man. Can't do it without them, that's for sure.
The crew is awesome. The crew is so much fun because it's not only, you could tell that they love what they're doing, but it's that like Latin connection, you know. I almost want to, te quiero hablar en español. I want to speak to you in Spanish right now because I just feel that it's just been so like a family, you know. We're working, we're doing what we love to do, all of us, and we have an amazing crew that supports us, and to actually get such awesome work done in such a short time and in such fast pace.
The crew was awesome. They had great spirits. I mean, the girls were covered in blood. They were sticky. They were cold, freezing. They didn't have layers on like the rest of the crew did. And they were great. I mean, they were troopers. They got hurt on some takes. I mean, we had girls slashed and cut and bruised. and they were phenomenal.
Well, I met Kenny through a friend of mine, and I worked on his Chola Chaplin as a dancer, and he asked me to come in one day to audition for Nicky, but he saw more of Jackie in me. So halfway through the audition, I had to do both. So that was fun.
Yeah, well, Nicky's a little, she's troubled. Nicky is the rebellious little sister, and she's also really naive. She doesn't get a whole lot, and she just kind of goes along with this idea that her and Jackie have, and you know, to go to Hawaii and to just live there and be happy there. And she doesn't really quite get that you have to work hard for these sorts of dreams. And so when an opportunity comes up that they take and they end up hurting people and hurting themselves, it all kind of unfolds around her. But I really love Nicky because by the end of the movie, she does grow up and she does realize what she has to do in order to make things right. So.
With Nicky and Jackie, the pitch was a lesbian couple that were going to rob drug dealers to pursue their dream to move to Hawaii. You know, that was the pitch, which sounds very sensational one level, somewhat cheesy, you know, but that's the top layer. And then there's everything that's underneath. All these characters are all three-dimensional. And Jackie is a compilation of people that I knew and grew up with, girls that I knew and grew up with, and they were incredible women, but never knew that how incredible they were, and never had anybody in their life, and never had anybody give them anything. And all they really wanted was to find someone. And so that's how Jackie came about. And the reason why I kind of isolate Jackie is because she is one of my favorite characters. She is my favorite character.
Well, she's a runaway from like Ohio. I'm saying Ohio, and she's a lonely girl. She's never really fit in where she lives, so that's why she ran to LA. And she's always been a girl who dreams big but doesn't know how to get to that dream. She kind of wants to take the shortcuts, and she's been in a lot of bad relationships, and she's just trying to find love, and she does find it with Nicky.
Well, Detective Romero, he's an interesting character because, you know, I've played bad guys before in films and or on television. I wouldn't say Detective Romero is a bad guy. He's a guy who's been doing this for a long time. Doing this meaning he's been a detective for a long time. And like anybody, I think he came in with his unrealistic views of what being a detective was. And when you see him in this film, he's a man who's just been doing it for a long time. And he's sapped, which is the best way. He is zapped from all of it. From of just seeing the crime, of seeing where society is going, where he feels that his job is almost worthless. So you catch him in a lot of frustrations, and part of those frustrations melt into his home life. And his wife, and his home life with his wife is not a great home life either, because they're having problems. She's an alcoholic. He's a workaholic. She's not getting enough attention. He's not getting enough from his work or his family life. So when you catch him in this film, he's got a lot of angst and a lot of anger issues. So I've never played a role that is this dry. You know, by nature, I am a guy who's very touchy, and I'm very, you know, I'm a huggy guy. I was raised by a mom, so I have no problem showing affection. This guy's a guy who does not show any sort of affection towards anything, but he loves his work, and I think he does wish that things were different. So in this movie, you meet him through the eyes of this new rookie, this newbie, what they call him, and so you see his personality. You know, he's got a very strong personality. So it's a very interesting character. He's very layered. He's a very, very layered person. And of course, because I'm not like him, it's fun to play.
I am Nicky's big sister. And, you know, in the story, I'm a lawyer, and I left for a long time to go study. And Nicky feels that I abandoned her. And in reality, I didn't. I just went to live my life and to, you know, better myself and to study. And I come back to be there for her. You know, now that our parents are gone and our grandfather's gone, it's just the two of us. And unfortunately, it's really too late, because I come back and want to be there for her, and she's already, you know, gone too out there, and she resents me, and she doesn't trust me. And it's heartbreaking, because if I would have stayed, I probably would have ended up like her, you know, my character. And I left because I knew that I wanted to have a better life and then come and help my sister have a better life. But it was too late.
Well, with the agency, Barbarella Casting, I have in stock a lot of actors from Baja that I promote. And so we wanted to, production-wise, again, to have the more people from Ensenada that we could. So we came and did a casting here first, as in Ghost Town, and then we did a casting in Tijuana, and we have a lot of second, third parts and beats and extras from Baja from Ensenada and Tijuana.
When Kenny first told me about the story, I wasn't too sure about it. I didn't know what he was really talking about, what he had in mind. It was very different from the first two, so I didn't know what to think of it. When I finally got the screenplay, I was like, okay, I kind of get where he's going with it. But it was up until we had all the characters and we got to Ensenada and we started really filming it, especially beginning with Mariposa and Papi, which was probably the weirdest part of the whole entire script. Then seeing it placed together, it really did make sense. It was Mariposa is an oddball in the whole entire script alone, especially being played by Alvaro, who played Sideways. So that kind of threw me off, because obviously I had worked with Alvaro before. But Alvaro did an amazing job playing Mariposa, and he really brought the character to life. So it made it fit along with the rest of the story and Nicky and Jackie. It put the extra pieces in there and really helped the story build. So it wasn't up until then that I really got what Kenny had in mind for the story and where it was gonna go. And then of course shooting the priest and adding the rest of the elements. Aside from it just being all cholas and all drive-bys, Nicky and Jackie were in the middle of a world, among other things, in this gangster, cholo, drive-by, killing, murdering, drug-sick world. So it was a really interesting story to work with.
I had already said yes without even reading the script. I just wanted to work with Kenny. You know, that's the beauty of this project, is that a lot of us actors from LA, we know each other. So for us to come here to Ensenada and shoot this and be here for 2 weeks it's been quite a beautiful experience. So it's been an honor in that sense to just be a part of this whole thing.
We've all belonged to Baja Films for so long, and you know, and we've made like a big family. You know, it's not more of a producer, you know, staff kind of separation anymore. It's like a producer, director, grip, electric, PA. It's all of these people dining at the same table, and we do this thanks to the confidence Plus Entertainment has with us, Baja Films, because you know we've worked for over 20 years. So we're not new in this. Maybe I'm a little new, you know. I'm young, but my dad has been in this for about 20 years ago, and he has taught people, and everybody that's here has learned with the company. You know, the company has grown with its same people. It's not one of those companies that hires on a need basis. It hires you know, all the time. You know, we always have the same people. If somebody's busy or something, we try and, you know, work out something. If something can't work out, then we'll go a different direction, no? But most of the time, things get worked out. That's why we're always the same crew and everything.
And well, the production-wise, all the equipment is from Baja Films. We have 2 trucks, 3 tons each one, and passenger vans for rent. We have walkies and all the equipment, grip and electric. We have also the best crew of TJ working with Baja Films, like Hector and Tony and Roman and Los Luzanilla brothers. So it's easy. For us to produce like that, it's more easy because, well, we have the equipment there, we rent it, and then we have the best crew, and we come and do what we know and what we like.
So we basically do the most of the effects on these kind of movies are body squibs. So everything that has to be with guns, we do that kind of thing. So if we need to make something to blow up, like somebody's shooting at the TV, we can blow up the TV.
One thing about the Red camera is that Red camera, yes, it's expensive. Yes, it's very difficult to work with. Yes, it's like working, you know, it's probably not like working with a Panavision, but it's you know, it's pretty much up there. You know, that's why they've made so many, you know, blockbuster films on it. They've relied on it. So you know, if the big guys are doing it, that means, you know, it works. So so I think the one big advantage doing, you know, having the Red instead of doing it on 35 millimeter is that, you know, now pretty much everybody can do it. You know, HD is so much easier to work with. It's cheaper too. Probably, you know, you're still gonna rent it. You're still gonna waste some money, but you know, you're not gonna be buying 400, 500, I mean, 100, 200 rolls of 35 millimeter magazines. You know, because and that's a lot of money. And then you're not going to rack. You're not going to do the whole post production shit, which you know comes up to a lot of money. You know, afterwards, yeah, you could do this and make it a blow up or whatever, but you already have the quality of a 35. It's never going to be the same, but you know, it's pretty much up there with it.
This is the beginning of a relationship. It's not the end of a relationship. And hopefully, with Baja Films behind Kenny and the relationship that we've all built together, Gonzalo and Oscar, that we'll do many more of these.
Let's continue that workflow that we've been doing. You guys did a great job again today. Thank you so much. Let's pack it up. Let's go get something to eat, okay?